Well, what's up, YouTube? Dead Draw here. I'm here with
Cody, Roulette.
We're at Winnipeg Regionals, and we've seen this guy quite a bit on my channel. So another Winnipeg, another top. So
Yeah, I've missed it a couple times, but I've topped more than I don't know.
you're always on the channel. Every time I'm here, like you're always topping. So
Yeah, I stopped judging, so here we are, I guess.
Alrighty, then what were you playing?
Ancient Gearbox Turbo. No, playing Earth Machines, as some people call it. I guess you could still call it Earth Machines. That's like the buzzword people like, but it's kind of evolved so much past Earth Machines now that I don't know. I'm playing 51 cards, so let's call it Girth Machines. That's better.
Okay.
Right.
Let's see. Let's get into
so like
it.
I said, 51 cards, pretty girthy. I need to explain a couple things, but first of all, I'm gonna show you like the solo stars of like the Earth Machines. So these things aren't part of a like necessary archetype that you play,
Right.
but these are all important for different reasons. There is also this guy. All right, so these guys you play for a couple reasons. The most important reason for this guy that's not typical for Earth Machines is I play a huge Vernisylph package.
Right.
And the theory with this is that Vernisylphs are insane. If you're not familiar with Vernisylphs, they all do X thing and then Monster Reborn in Earth, but locks you into Earths.
Okay.
I literally only play Earths outside of the Zeus and the extra, mainly to play around the Bisted stuff, but also because I don't have any cards that conflict.
Yeah.
So the reason why I'm playing Earth Machines with Vernisylphs, because you can play like the Dolces and any other Earth gimmick, is that I wanted every single thing I bring back off the Vernisylphs to plus when they come back. This guy is like an insane debris dragon. If you're old school, this thing brings back any Earth Machine from your graveyard and then level modulates. This is also part of an FTK this deck can do, but it's like super rare. It's like less than a third chance for it to actually come up.
But it can.
But it actually came up once today that I had FTK going at the time.
My friend who's playing Scareclaw, was that the one?
Yeah, I had. He made me go first game 3 when he got to choose. Kind of awkward because I like sided for going second, and then he let me go first. And I looked at my hand. I'm like, well, I have the FTK line.
Oh wow.
Let's see what happens. And then when I started Gustav looping, he scooped, so I didn't even get to do it. I can quickly explain later why Gustav or how you even FTK in this, but yeah. Also, I drew box 7 times today in 51 cards.
Oh my god.
I just want to make sure people know that. All right, so the namesake of Brutal Dozer Control Earth Machines, whatever you want to call it. These are the ratios for the Infinitrack stuff.
Okay.
You can cut back depending on the ratios of like 2 Harvester, 1 Dozer. Honestly, Dozer is a 1 almost always, but I needed a Dozer to always exist in deck in case I got milled by a Shizu. Hence the second one. That's it, really.
Fair enough.
Trencher you need to have 2 of because turn 1 you always go through the first one. Second, but you use it on the second turn to do a full combo to kill somebody like 100% of the time by playing 2.
Awesome.
This not necessary, but it's just cute to be able to do a rank 9 before you commit to anything. And then again, the theory being with Vernisylphs, everything I bring back pluses, right? And this is full combo if I ever do it Vernisylph plus this.
Okay.
I don't need to explain too much Earth Machine theory because like that's a pretty solved deck, but this is a little spicy. Fenrir's talking to town. If you're budget and you want to build this deck, just cut it. And then play 48. It's not necessary. And honestly, I sided this out a lot because I played a lot of Fluunderies, and this card doesn't actually do anything against Fluunderies unless it's going first, and they just draw nothing to interact with it, but then you already won that game anyway, so it didn't matter. All right, now the Machina line. Only this. So again, updated current modern Machina will play Gear Frame with Unclassed Bar, but the problem with that is Unclassed Bar is a dark, and I did not want to play a dark anywhere in my deck. So if I'm going to not play Unclassed Bar in that, plus this thing, you can pitch it for Vernisylphs, bring it back, and you full combo.
Yeah, so you just like you really built the deck to like not be bestial.
So every
right?
I play literally no lights or darks except for Zeus, but if Zeus comes out, then it's usually game, right? But like you have so many hits in this deck that you want to hit with Vernisylphs, that everything is like incredibly like game ending if the Vernisylph resolves. Again, 51 cards, so it's gonna take a minute.
No big deal.
Therion King Regulus. This card I was only playing at 1. I bumped this up and also play a full suite of the field spell because of a side deck option. Otherwise, you could cut this down to 1 or 2. But again, a Vernisylph that you can pitch this, bring it back, and then your opponent's going to use a resource to out it, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, I out it with X effect. You're like, okay, no effect. And they're like, oh, you're not going to negate? No, because I'll bring it back with the Vernisylphs and keep going, right?
Yeah.
So that's super relevant.
They always try to bait it, but then you're baiting the bait.
Yeah. A very small, like, simplified game state loop that you can do is using this to bring back Bullet Train. And then when you negate, Bullet Train gets it back. And then you just keep doing it. But, like, the games don't last long enough for that to ever matter. Okay, so the thing that is super relevant, like, you want to play some Winnie the Pooh, some of the Fairy Girl, Mother Duck.
Only the duck.
And then the other bear. Okay, so I won't get into too much detail about why the ratios and everything. I put a lot of thought into this, but the TLDR is that any of these guys becomes any of these, which is obvious. But the important thing is that this plus this or this is full combo, right? Because you just dump one and then you get the other, and vice versa. Another cute OTK line is if you draw these guys together, you dump this, you dump a thing that you typically can't bring back because it won't let you, but you bring this guy back, and then it brings back the thing you dumped, then you full combo there. So that is 8,000 lethal just because of the rank 10 engine, right?
Yeah.
And you get a pop because you dumped Air Train.
This deck always scares me because I know it can just win out of nowhere.
And it's gotten so much more degenerate because you can FTK. And the way you FTK is to quickly do it, you make a Gustav in your line, and then you link it off. You use this, do X effect, but bring back the Gustav. You use heavy forward, put it underneath, Gustav burn again. And then you link off Gustav. Because this thing searches for one, use this one. You Gustav again with this guy. And then this time you use the link 1 Infinitrack, burn for a third time. And then use Infinitrack Tunneler, shuffle the Gustav back in your deck. And then because this one searched this one you bring back the... where is he? This guy, Pegasus. You make a rank 10 Gustav for the 4th time, and you burn for 8,000.
Yeah.
So again, super fringe. Doesn't happen often. It did come up once today, but yeah. So you can FTK if you want.
If
but
you get a free win, you get a free win, right?
Yeah. So imagine every plus in here. Again, if you don't know what these do, this thing searches a Vernisylph. This thing searches an Earth Fairy, which is all of them. This thing is a Foolish Burial, and this thing's a Pot of Greed. Or not, well, a draw 1.
Right.
So imagine all of those, but then you get to just keep going Extender Turbo.
Yeah.
This deck is redundancy on steroids. You just always have full combo.
Okay.
And usually through many hand traps, just because the deck is just so redundant.
Yeah.
It's also not the most imposing board, but what'll typically happen is your opponent can't outright kill you.
Right.
And because of how your deck works, you have literally like 15 Monster Reborns, you just kill them on the clapback. Again, tanky for the deck, also part of the FTK. I'm gonna keep emphasizing the FTK even though it like never comes up.
Yeah.
This card's actually really bad. This card I wasn't playing for a while, but I put it back in just because I figured I don't care about playing hand traps, and I'm gonna fight fire with fire and just out combo tier, and I'll just kill them by having a stronger combo. And that was pretty much it.
Cool.
Again, this the Therion, so 6 copies of Regulus, not super important, but I am playing it for a side deck.
Okay.
So if I open this plus a side deck card, it's like an FTK.
Fair.
Urgent Schedules. I hate this card with a passion because I hate cards that are only good going second or going first.
Yeah.
But like very obviously so. This card has like niche interactions where if your opponent does a Nishizu effect, summons a guy on your field, you can make Anger Knuckle. Anger Knuckle send itself, target a level 10 engrave, chain this, and then you can kill your opponent. Stuff like that. But otherwise, it's kind of whatever. And then I play 2 Overdrive. Playing a 2 of doesn't really make much sense unless you're playing like for a specific reason.
Yeah.
But this is an interruption that you can set, and it's staggered, so that's really important because today I was playing against Flu and he opened he had evenly Dark Ruler No More, Harpy's Feather Duster, and some other effect to blow up my board, so he had all going second gas, but because I had this, he had to order it so that he dealt with my board, but I also used this, and then I was still able to beat him because it was interruption that came later on.
Okay, dope.
It's pretty important.
Extra deck? Or do you want to do
I got extra deck here. So the only 3 of Infinitrack Goliath, any non-link Infinitrack, and again, it's part of the FTK combo by going back under a machine link. The effect of making something immune to being destroyed never came up, but it's cute. This thing's super good. So the main theory why I think this is the best Vernistilf deck is because this thing gets you 2 monsters to hand. Okay. So it completely fixes the issue of Vernistilfs being just like resource intensive.
Yeah.
Also, this is the only reason I was able to beat Scareclaw. Because like Scareclaw just randomly puts everything in defense and is immune to it. I'm like, oh, well, this makes your guy 0. So. Anger Knuckle, I wasn't able to do a lot of resource loops with him, but he's super important. Never summon this, but again, it's a peace of mind card. If you want to not lose to Zombie World, you need this.
Fair.
Gears again X. I don't play the Gear Frame line, which is why this is here. But if you ever open a combo that involves using Pegasus with a Vernistilf line, you bring this back, make the thing that comes back level 4, and then you can do this. And then you do that without normal summoning, so that's how you do the full combo that way. So again, the whole deck is redundancy. Searches for machines. Searches for machines. Yeah, this card's insane. This deck works because you play 50 cards that all do the same thing. This is important because on the clapback, you will typically make a Link 1, do this, search, get a Regulus, overlay this, swing over, it doesn't matter, make a Zeus that's insulated by Regulus.
Yeah.
Dingirsu, I never summoned it today, but again, it's an insurance policy that I wanted to have 2 sources of outing something that didn't target or destroy. Right. So like people are making Borland and stuff, and they could just save it for Zeus.
Yeah.
I wanted two layers to that, and this is the way to do it. So I just make this guy force out the negate, do this, and then Zeus, and then do full combo.
That's awesome,
right?
actually. That's
Earth Slicer. This is like the main reason I'm playing Anchor Drill is for this guy, because you can do Anchor Drill into Dozer, and if they negate it, you're like, okay, well, I'll just make this guy pop 2, and then this card simplifies game states, and that's just really OP. The rank 10s. You could play 2 of this, and it way simplifies the FTK, but it's not necessary because you don't want to ever really do the FTK unless it's super obvious.
Unless you're like you're gonna get it.
Yeah, exactly. So these guys and the big one to go with it. You go into this almost every single turn 1 to the point where playing 2 of this is probably correct.
Yeah.
So you could cut Phoenix or Dingirsu, but again, those are peace of mind cards only because I didn't want to lose to something because I just didn't build the extra deck correctly.
Right.
And then the Zeus.
The Zeus, yeah. And then your side deck.
Okay, so the reason why I'm playing the heavy Therion stuff is this.
The bear statue.
Yeah, so again, I'm just taking a page of the flu book. So it seems pretty obvious, like, oh yeah, so all the Vernistilfs bring it back. But that's essentially like, you can do every single full combo line is like Vernistilf and doesn't use normal summon, so this, you can just play it.
Yeah.
But you also have lines where you can go like, make normal summon, make the Link 4 guy, or the Link 2 Ancient Gear, search thing, and they go pitch one of the Vernistilfs, search for the Foolish Burial Bear, dump this with the Foolish Burial Bear, and then use another Vernistilf to bring this back from the grave. So like, there's lines that I did today that full on dumped this from deck, summon this, and then did full Earth Machine combo.
Do combo because you can make Earth. Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah. Also, I like doing this against tier because like I'm just doing this and it doesn't activate, and then I'll do like Regulus, and then that's game usually. And then that was only monster side. Cosmic Cyclone, pick your poison for back row hate against a peace of mind thing. I never once drew it, so okay. So Dark Hole, going vintage instead of Regeki, Storm, all that stuff, mainly because it did the same thing all those did, had a small niche application of being able to turn off mine, but more importantly, it did the same thing Regeki and Storm did, but it also outed Ra's Disciple, Ido, and all of the degenerate cards that Branded gives you. So you can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Use Dark Hole, clear the whole board, including that trash they give you, and then you get to play the game.
That's dope.
Harpies, never drew it, but again, you kind of... there's merit to cutting this completely for third Cosmic, just because you don't want the Harpies a tier back row.
Fair, yeah.
So the main thing that I was 100% going to side no matter what, the theory being that if my opponent tries to turn 0 tier combo me, full combo while I'm starting, I want to be able to do this on my turn, and assuming they don't have the full tier combo, because it's less than half the time they turn 0 full tier you on your own turn. You can just set it, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree with this. I I was playing these too, and I think that I think it's really important because you can use it on your turn, and then
Yes.
as long as you can stall them out enough or stun them hard enough, especially with your barrier statue, you're just gonna win, right?
Also, more importantly, obviously Dweller is just awesome, and you don't have to worry about hitting it. But this card, you don't have to preemptively do it in response to the mills. This card, you can do it when they go mill 8 cards, and you're chain link 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you're okay, chain link 5 this.
Yeah.
It negates everything after the fact, which is really important.
That is really good. Yeah, so it's really reactive.
Yeah, and then go to Floodgate. I hate the idea of having to play Floodgates, but I'm also not playing a tier 1 deck.
Yeah.
So you need to kind of
balance it out.
Yeah, you need to fight degeneracy with degeneracy. Tier and Sprite are just degenerate by nature because of how strong they are. So you need to play something to even the playing field. And I won 2 games today with skill drains, and I don't feel bad about it.
No. Alrighty. Shout outs, anything you want to say?
This deck is probably the funnest Yu-Gi-Oh! You will ever play, and just a solitaire. If you guys ever played Dark Warrior Turbo back in the day and would just sit there and solitaire for hours, play this deck and look at how wild it can get.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, just build this online and just mess with combos. It's the funnest thing you've ever played. But at the same time, this deck is very clearly weaker than the tier 1 decks. So unless you have memorized every single aspect of Earth Machines, don't take this into a tournament.
No, because it's very I can tell. I mean, just by how many sheer cards I don't know that is in this deck. Yeah. I can tell you definitely need to know your in and outs, and it could be a hard deck to play, but it can be very powerful.
Yeah, Earth Machine players are kind of loyal. We've been playing this forever since Aerosol kind of innovated the deck, and we've been shout out Aerosol TCG because he's the one that kind of started this. But yeah, this is an extremely hard deck to win with.
Right.
When stuff goes wrong, but yeah, it's extremely rewarding. And yeah, in regards to shout outs, shout out Winnipeg crew, Nikolai, Jordan Aldaba for cheating, Jordan Alchita. Nah, I don't got anything wacky or offensive to say to your fans this time. Nah, just this is me playing my favorite deck in a tier 0 format, and just getting there because I've played this deck more than most people have, and I just enjoy it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it, and good luck in the future.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'm not.